Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. Really pleased to be able to show you on this glorious sunny afternoon an equally glorious Triumph Daytona 955i. Now I know that I might be starting to sound like a stuck record by suggesting that this is probably one of the cleanest examples of this bike that you'll find, but this truly is a collector's item. As you can see, she's a 2000 W reg, which for those of you of a certain age will struggle to accept is 18 years ago. But here we have an 18-year-old bike that's as clean as anything that you'd find out there on the road that's just a couple of years old. It really is absolutely beautiful. Now one of the reasons for that is the fact that she's covered just 5,000 miles from new. As you can see there, 5,031, the last 7 of which were done with myself aboard, just testing. And this beauty's just come into us as part of our collector's corner from an existing customer of ours that for one reason or t'other was thinning out his collection, and we are the extremely grateful recipients of this Triumph Daytona 955. So if you're not entirely sure what the 955 was about, if that sort of missed your radar so to speak, MCN's own review suggests that it's effectively Britain's answer to the Fireblade, and in its own right it really is a fantastic bike. 955cc 3-cylinder triple, lurking behind that unmarked fairing, and some of the reviews are suggesting that a motor output of 147 horsepower at the crank, which I think is probably a little bit optimistic, but nonetheless it is an extremely rapid motorcycle, there's no doubt about it. Even 18 years down the line, it is a fast bike, and one might argue that almost ideally suited to use as a modern road bike, because the suspension's just that little bit softer. But ultimately, yes, it was the bike that that Triumph launched to go head to head with the Fireblade, but its original incarnation was actually named the T595, which certainly didn't help sales, because I think a lot of people misconstrued it as being a 595cc bike rather than the 955 that it actually is. So maybe mistaking it as a super sport bike rather than a super bike. And with the first models being launched in 1997, unfortunately the die was cast for this bike when in 98, obviously the very first Yamaha R1 was launched, which was lighter, faster and more agile. So whilst the Triumph Daytona 955 wasn't able to compete on a sort of head-to-head basis with the Japanese, as I say, it remains an extremely quick and usable bike, and in my eyes, and I may be slightly biased, I think it's a beautiful bike. I think the lines on this bike are absolutely stunning. It's a really nice piece of design, and of course, particularly in this condition, they are now becoming quite collectible. So as I say, she's done 5,000 miles from 3 previous keepers. She's been serviced 5 times, most recently by ourselves. Although in fairness, the last Triumph service, four Triumph services stamped in the book prior to her arrival with us, and the last Triumph service was actually less than 300 miles ago, although that was in 2014. So purely on an age basis, we've carried out an oil and filter, coolant flush, brake fluids and fork oil, and she's now either ready to be ridden or just admired. And I have to say, as I say, great bike to ride, but I would be so fearful of damaging such a beautiful bike or getting stone chips, because this bike is pretty much unmarked. I'll take this opportunity to do some close-ups. You can see the fairings are absolutely perfect and have been fitted with genuine Triumph Speedy Does fasteners all around. And again, do some close-ups on the tank. There's no deformation on the tank. If you know what you're looking at, you'll be aware that some of these plastic tanks actually suffered with some deformation, some basically becoming misshapen due to the ethanol content in the fuel, and that actually resulted in in this front tank cover as well, often cracking. But the paintwork is as close to perfect as I think one could reasonably expect an 18-year-old bike to be. And if you haven't already done so, have a look at some of the photographs that we've posted both on our eBay listing, our website MidEssexMotorcycles.com, and indeed our Facebook page. You'll see lots and lots of photographs of the bike with the panels off, inside of the fairings, lots of close-ups, and we'll take the opportunity to do some more on this video. Not sure how well you can see in there, but you can see the back of the radiator and the coolant hoses absolutely spot on. Even the brake discs, the bobbins on the brake discs, really clean, not full of corrosion and years old brake dust. And the wheels themselves, as I say, as far as I can ascertain, are unmarked. You can see we've got these nice carbon infill panels here as well. And again, some close-ups on the right hand side. The fork legs are in incredible condition. There's no sort of peeling of lacquer or discoloration. Even the pinch bolts and the axle bolt. And I think that's why this particular bike in this condition would lend itself beautifully to any collection. Now you can see that she's also fitted with the Triumph, excuse me, the Triumph high level carbon exhaust with the genuine Triumph hanger and the genuine Triumph link pipe, which my understanding from the previous owner is that's no longer available, so quite a rare bit of kit, and certainly I would have thought in that condition. And again, you can see through there just how clean the rear suspension is, and the swing arm, rear shock reservoir with the adjustment there, and the spring. A little bit of tarnishing on the piston cover in the rear shock there, but let's say she is 18 years old, but that's probably about as much as we can criticise this bike for. And again, some close-ups on this rear wheel. Absolutely stunning. As you can see, she's sitting supported by a genuine Triumph single-sided swing arm paddock stand as well, and you can see, just for the purposes of the video, won't go through to it in huge detail, but we've got a nice, out of the shadow, nice high quality file here with spare key, service and owners manuals, various invoices, service invoices, all the MOTs from new, or all the MOTs it's had whilst it's been off the road. Because obviously with just 5,000 miles, it would have been stored for periods of time. Okay, so let's just start her up for you. You can see the here the fuel pump prime. All our idiot lights on the right hand side, and just have to pull the clutch in, so excuse the camera for a second. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the wonderful sound the Triumph Daytona 955 triple with the carbon high level exhaust. That was also started completely from cold as well. Now, the high level carbon exhaust has actually been remapped to the bike by the renowned Triumph specialist Clive Wood, but we do also have the standard exhaust as well, as we also have the pillion seat. And whilst you'll see that they've been removed for aesthetic purposes, we do have the pillion footrest as well. Absolutely gorgeous sound. So there you have it. Just to summarise, a bike that, in our humble opinion, would grace any motorcycle collection. This is a 2000W Triumph Daytona 955 with just 5,000 miles from new, a full service history with 4 Triumph stamps and recently recommissioning service by ourselves, Triumph high level carbon exhaust with link pipe, pretty much unmarked, and in our opinion really good value, great investment at 4,995. I hope you enjoyed the video.